Hey there everybody, welcome to the first Fun Facts with Fred Friday. Today we're going to be talking about the eyeball. So you might ask yourself, why an eyeball? Why a magnifying lens? Why the eyeball? Well, it's a very important organ and it has some very important structures that help us interpret the world around us. Why a magnifying lens? Well, the lens in our eye is a similar lens to the lens in a magnifying glass. In order to explore how our eyeball works, we're going to use some high power LED lights. We're going to use this magnifying lens. We're going to use some green construction paper. The lights are going to represent the light bouncing off of the objects that we see. The magnifying lens is going to represent the lens in our eye, and then the green construction paper is going to represent the retina on the back of our eyeballs. Hopefully by the end of this video we'll have a better idea of how the eyeball works to provide information to the brain. So first off, we're going to be dealing with a lens. In this case, our magnifying lens. And our lens is going to be shaped similarly to this. When we face something and look at something in the room or outside that we want to view, that object is at some point ahead of us. Light, either from the light bulbs in the room or the sun, comes in and bounces off of the object that we're viewing. That light hits the object and is redirected to our eyes. Because the lens in our eyes is essentially two separate lenses, a lens on the front, a lens on the back, the light that hits the lens is redirected. So from the object at the top, the light is redirected down. From the object at the bottom, the light is redirected up. So if we imagine that we were looking at an object that has something special at the top to make the top distinct, and something special at the bottom to make the bottom distinct, when the light passes through our lens and travels to the back of the eye or the retina, the object now appears to be upside down. At that point, the retina, which will be this big green line, and our green sheet of construction paper in the video, gathers the information about the object and sends that information through nerves to the brain. In the brain, the object is transformed from what we see here, the upside down object, back to the right side up object. And the fact is, there's more to it than that. When the lens of the eye encounters light from an object, this time we're going to make it a little bit different object. This time our object is going to be special in a different way. We're going to have something special from right to left. In addition to being special from top to bottom. So just like before, we get rays coming in from the light bulbs or from the sun, striking our object. Those rays then bounce off of the object, heading toward our lens. Our lens is exposed to those light beams, and like we said before, transfers those beams in a manner such that we get a upside down image that shows up on our retina. However, in addition to this upside down image, we also get a lateral inversion, which causes our special right to left components to be altered as well. So what originally showed up on the right now shows up on the left, and what was on the left now shows up on the right. The nerve leaving the retina and going to the brain carries that information to the brain, and then once again the brain does its job to interpret the information it's given, and it interprets that information as an object that is consistent with what the original light beams bounced off of. So in the project that we're about to do, we'll actually be able to see both the top bottom change and the left right or lateral inversion. So there'll be a up down inversion, a lateral inversion. We should be able to see both of those things by using the magnifying lens and the green construction paper. This is the setup for the light coming into the lens. 2 round lights, 2 flat lights, one set up further back to make it smaller and one with an obstruction to set it apart. If this experiment works, then the image should be upside down and the lights should be on the same side that you see here. This image shows that the experiment worked. The lights are upside down, and the light that passed into the lens on the left side passed out of the lens on the right side. Well, all right. I hope by the end of this video you have a better understanding of how the eye and the lens in the eye help us interpret the world around us. I hope you've enjoyed this Fun Facts with Fred Friday, and I hope to see you again next week.